Hello and welcome back to the channel, because today is going to be kind of a roundup. It's a roundup. I mean, New Year's is coming up in, well, from today, 2 days from now. So 2026 is coming. There's new things that are going to be occurring. There's a whole new life that I have entered into and some new explorations that I'm going to be finding. But I mean, this past year, 2025, has been kind of crazy, kind of wild, and it's been good. It's been really good. I've learned a lot. I've also learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about what I want and what I don't want, and just some of the things that I'm working toward as well. So let's kind of go back a little bit, because in this video, what I really want to do is kind of get an understanding of the trajectory where I'm headed, kind of mark down some of the goals, some of the ideas that I have in my head, and just sort of talk through, what happened in the past in 2025, do a bit of a roundup, take stock of some of the goals that I used to have or still have to this day, and where I'm at with those goals, and then start working forward. I'm not much of a resolutions person. I don't really like naming and claiming that, like, a goal for the future, just because I know that things can change, and they have. So I'm going to be kind of working through this with you together. I'll name some things, but I kind of keep some goals loosely. But I'm always striving. I'm always somebody who wants to improve, who wants to do better. And I think that is just my life. Like, I don't necessarily see things as I will reach this and I'll be good. When I reach this, I'll be done. I always see life as, I'm going to be moving in different directions. And if that's the New Year's resolution, that's perfectly fine then. Then I'll go, I'm just going to move in this direction and see how things go. And that's it. So with this, let's start just a little bit with 2025. Let's start by naming some of the things that I have already been working on. So I'm an actor, and I really want to be a master at acting. That's something that I've always wanted. I have been working with the Chekhov technique. I think I have it here. This is just one book of many of Michael Chekhov. But I've been working on the Michael Chekhov technique as an actor. That's kind of been my focus. Of course, I utilize many different techniques within my craft and kind of pull whatever that I need. But when it comes to acting, I'm kind of going down a different rabbit hole now than actually pursuing acting. I was working at the Renaissance Theater, and I had many leading roles, and I got to help around the theater as well as an executive assistant. And then just at some point, it was we just started finding differences. And that's when I quit the job. So when I quit the job in May. And it was a little too soon, maybe a lot of it too soon, because I had no plan afterwards. So I was just kind of stuck. And that was, we had January. And January, was that when hold on. This year, at the very beginning of this year, I premiered my screenplay. I premiered it for a very small audience. And it was a 3-day rehearsal, I think it was, with a group of actors who read the entirety. I got notes, and I worked with a good friend of mine, Ryan Sheely, who's the Associate Artistic Director at the Renaissance Theater. I worked with Michael Thomas, who's the Artistic Director at the Renaissance Theater. And then we just worked at it. We kept putting it up. I rewrote the entire script pretty much every single day. And that was the only thing I focused on. Was I would rewrite the entire script, I would print off the new sheets, I would give it to the actors, I would have them read it, take my notes, then probably go home. I'm pretty sure, yeah, like a couple times I would just go home and I would rewrite. But then it was the morning that I would rewrite all day, and then I would reprint and put them back up. And that was the premiere of my very first screenplay ever, my first writing project. And that was amazing. That was watching that come to life in that way, which is still a workshop, that was probably quite the highlight for me, to be perfectly honest. And it's funny because taking stock sometimes of the entirety of the year is really daunting. And then you realize, like, your brain was on trying to move forward so much that you forgot all the good things that did occur during the year. This year was hard. It really was. So moving forward, I mean, after I premiered that, then it was kind of a little bit difficult as things went on. Working as an executive assistant was amazing. It really was something that I learned a lot from. It just turned out like, there was a lot of differences that occurred, and I couldn't really see myself working there anymore. So I did quit. I quit in May. So basically from January all the way until May, there wasn't too many things that were occurring. And I just kind of kept working, and there were things that occurred that didn't really sit well with me. So yeah, basically May was, I guess, the big point that I quit, and then quit definitely way too early. And so I started to look for a job as soon as I possibly could. I tried to go really hard into YouTube and thought that I could make money right away on YouTube, which was a silly thought. It's not necessarily it's like one of those things where you think to yourself, no, I'm not doing that. That's not what I'm doing. Right? And then you are actually doing it. So, I was doing it for the wrong reasons, for the wrong intentions. I was trying to also hold so much weight on my creativity that it put me into a hole that I found it very difficult to get out of. I put myself in that hole, and because I needed finances, I needed money, I was running out, and the monthly payments were becoming a lot. Oh my God, I got a ticket too, which really messed me up, and my friend helped me out of it. But that ticket is kind of still haunting me to this day because now my insurance rates are up. So it was kind of just like one bad thing after another, which, to be perfectly clear, I asked for it. I don't want to necessarily say it like that, but I decided to quit the job that was sustaining me to a point, and look for another job. And things within that space happened. Therefore, I had no sustaining finances, and when things happened, I couldn't do anything about the things that happened. If I had that job and things happened, then I'd go, well, that happens. It's okay. I understand. And I could throw the money at it, and I would be perfectly fine. And I would be back to, working off the debt. But I just kept sinking further and further and further into a financial hole. And took me 3 months to get out. During that time, I was DoorDashing so I could get groceries. I would DoorDash for a little bit, and then I would go and get groceries so I could make a meal, so I could make dinner and lunch. And then I would do it pretty much again. I found it very difficult to sustain DoorDashing. It was not fun, not something I personally enjoyed. I tried my best, but that was what sustained me. So then, moving on, I moved home, and because I got a job. I was playing volleyball with friends, and a friend of mine who was there, who works at the job I have currently, was talking about anything but the job. Or maybe I think I did mention that she had a job, and I was going, "What's the job?" And then I asked, of course, the follow-up question, which is, "Are they hiring?" The answer was, yeah. So I sent in my application, and I got the first interview with a recruiter. And then I went from the recruiter to a manager that I interviewed with. And then from the manager, then I got to an even higher up. And I eventually got the job. And that lasted, I think, a month or so. I think that process was about a month long interview process, which is, it'd be a week here, a week there, a week there. And we tried to expedite it as much as possible because there was a training class coming up for that job in August. So I started in August 11th. August 11th was so also this year, I will say my parents did divorce, and what came of that was a lot of cleaning. We had to move out of the old house into a new place. So we have an apartment now, and I'm living with my mother, here in this apartment. There was, a lot of difficult conversations within that realm. I'm still processing it. I think I feel like I'm doing okay, and I think everything is moving forward quite nicely. So I'm not focusing too hard on that right now, and maybe I will at a later point. And I know that my work right now as a person with stuff like that is noting it and just kind of seeing how things feel in my atmosphere and continuing forward, because right now that's kind of where my head's at right now, is just to move forward. So that's what I'm doing. And now I got the job, August 11th. I'm starting to train, starting to get an idea of what this job is. And as I'm sitting in that job, of course, I'm going, oh my God, this is a lot. I did it. I got onto the floor October 11th, I believe. So that's a full 2 months of training that we did. Was getting paid the entire time, which is good. I already had my benefits. We got benefits right away. Then I have been on the floor ever since. There was a midpoint though. And within that midpoint was, I have to keep creating. There was a moment when I knew this would be a dangerous thing, the full-time job. And that was the idea and understanding that it would be difficult to continue working on what it is that I want to be working on. It's so important for me to create. And as an artist, I will not give up that right to create. And as a human, I will not give up that right to create. I had to figure out a good balance. I had to come up with a compromise, the only way that I knew how. And I felt that there was an importance with how everything is going within my life right now, which is a general sense of everything slowing down, sustaining, working on rebuilding a foundation, and finding sustainability with the things that I'm doing. So I had to match some sort of project to that. I felt that writing has been a constant in my life, something that I've been able to sustain for 9-10 years now. I also had just come out of a project, which is my screenplay. So I felt it would be a great idea to write a book. Now I'm writing a book. I haven't talked about it yet, and I'm not, I can't say that. I am actually doing the thing. I'm about a quarter in, which is I'm at about 20,000 words now. That's a lie. I just got to 19,000 words this morning. I'm at 19,067 words. So 1,000 more words, which is what I plan on doing today, is going to get me to 20,000. So now being at 19,067 words in this story, I have realized how important it is to have this craft. And it's something that is reminding me every single day how important creativity is. Because I enter into my job being a fuller person, knowing that I have my craft, and I will always have my craft. And my craft is my form of rebellion. And it is how I can create and how I can continue thinking and how I can continue utilizing my artistic soul to help people. And if I never post or if I never publish this book, then it's fine. It's fine. I don't have to worry about it. I know that I am still creating and becoming a fuller person, so that when I enter into my life outside, when I see people, when I talk to people, I can feel full when I talk to them. I can feel whole. I can feel complete. And I can give them everything that I possibly can. So this project has been incredibly important to me. It's continuing to develop. And my goal is 90,000 words, which is a smaller novel. Basically what I'm thinking is that once I get to 50,000 words, I will probably expand, because there's already within those 19,000 words right now, I'm already finding so many big arcs that now I just need to expand. And once I expand those things, then I'll start figuring out, oh, I actually have a lot more that I could write. So that's kind of what I'm realizing right now with that many words. I will talk, though, a little bit more about my process in writing. I will talk more about the book itself a little bit more, maybe not too much. I don't want to spoil anything. I really do want to just probably share it and let you decide what you decide. And that'll be this year. And that kind of sets me ahead to looking ahead. But before I move on to looking ahead, I'd really like to say thank you to the people in my life that supported me during the time of, forever. The people who have supported me for forever. And not just the time when things were easy, but the time when things were hard. The people who supported me through those times. I could not be where I am right now if I didn't have those people. You know who you are, and I really, really, really thank you. And I love you so very much, all of you. So thank you. And I'm really grateful to have people like you. So let's look ahead. In terms of 2026, these are kind of the core avenues, the concepts that I am really looking into in terms of improving, in terms of development, and creating goals around. So we're looking at art and creativity, development, and subsects within development is mental care, physical care, and spiritual care. And then we have sustainability or foundations. We have relationships, and we also have unconditional love. Now, I've already kind of discussed what I am working on in art and creativity. I'm writing a book, and my plan is to finish that book by 2026, by the end of 2026. I think I can probably do it. I have been pretty steady, and if I am continuing to be steady, I shouldn't be too far off from 3 to 4 to 5 months from now. So I think I can probably get it done by the middle of the year. I'm not making any promises about that. This is my first time ever writing a book, and I know that the editing process is going to be way different than the writing process. I am starting to get very good at getting words on page, but when it comes to editing, I'm going to be very curious about the things I'm going to find there. That's going to be a completely different journey. So I don't know what the timeline looks like, and I won't say that I do. So, but yeah, that is a goal of mine. A goal of mine is to finish the book by the end of the year. Also within this is I am going to be completing my Chekhov training. I'm turning my chair around because I have notes. Well, no. Anyways, but I have books. I mean, I do have notes in there. So Michael Chekhov technique. This is the technique that I work on when it comes to acting. I have this book. I have this book. All of these I've completed. I've written notes on, and I have Lessons for Teachers by Michael Chekhov. And then I have translated by one of his students. And I'm going to be working on the Michael Chekhov technique this summer for the final, for my final certification. This will be my 3rd year training at the Great Lakes Michael Chekhov Consortium at Kent State University. I'm so excited. I love that place so much because I'm acting all day. I get to work on a character all day, every day, for a week. I wish it was longer, but of course it's fine. And now with, this is great, with my full-time job, I have PTO. And so I'm taking that PTO and I'm gonna go to that place and I'm gonna get paid to do it. Meh, heh, heh, heh. I still have to pay them, so, but either way, I'm getting paid to act in a way. It's great. So I'm really excited for that. That's a huge goal of mine. I would also like to begin teaching the Michael Chekhov technique. I have taught a little bit during this year, taught and trained a few students, nothing consistent, and I'm okay with that. I think it's really difficult to kind of start something new and keep it sustained, and then also keep students engaged the entire time. I'd like to improve as a teacher for sure. And I'd really like to help other people to improve their character building, improve their ability and creativity, as well as improving their acting. So that's something that I really want to continue working on. And then also, training the Chekhov technique for camera. I myself am not a film actor. I'm not going to say that I am a film actor. I want to be a film actor. That's definitely a goal of mine. But when it comes to being a film actor, I'm going to need to experiment a lot more and kind of case study with myself before I can start teaching something like that. I have ideas and I have theories when it comes to acting on film. So it's just my job to implement those things and work on them and try them out. Yeah, so I'm really excited for that. That's a big one for me. I really want to start teaching, start building out more of a student base, and start bringing more lessons to people. Okay, listen, I'm going to kind of name things, and I'm not going to hold any promises to them because I want to be very careful about this. When it comes to me posting something and me saying that I'm going to do something, whether it's online in my newsletter, whether it's online here on the camera, on YouTube, something activates in me where I'm talking about it in therapy, but something activates in me where I think a part is kind of rebelling against the rules that I set and define for myself. Possibly. That's just one look at it. But of course, so I don't want to create expectations that I then just wash away for the next idea that I have, or the next new thing that I come across, the new novelty that Matt Piper loves so much. Be gentle. I'm being gentle. I'm being gentle. It's fine. I've done it before. I've seen it within myself, and I kind of recognize that. But that's a part of, working on myself and developing, is to create more of a sustainability, and also being able to hold, do what I say and gain some trust in myself for that. What I will say is, within art and creativity, being one of the most important things that I have to my life, is, I want to, with YouTube, I really want to get to 40 videos this year. That's about 3 a month, about 3 videos a month plus 4 more. I've already made 2 before the year starts, so I'm giving that to myself. 40 is pretty dicey, I'm gonna be honest. It's a little bit of a daunting number. I wanted to get 50 just because that's half of 100. That just doesn't sound feasible to me. I'm just starting my YouTube career, and I don't really have this system set up yet, and I don't have it easy yet. Anyways, let's move on. Let's move forward into development. So with development, of course, I have mental care, physical care, and spiritual care. Throwing things out there, and this is kind of just brainstorming. Right now, I don't have anything set. I know that these are things, these are avenues, these are pathways that I want to go down, but I don't necessarily have destinations that I am really, really planning on. I understand that there's a direction, and I'm going to walk that way. So with that being said, I do feel with mental care, therapy is already happening, and I'm really excited for it, and have been, because I'm working with an IFS therapist, internal family systems therapist. And we are discovering and uncovering and introducing and reintroducing parts to myself, which is kind of how I function anyways, where I work with my characters in acting as just another part of me. So the concept came to me really nicely, and I'm very curious about it. So I am excited to continue to discover that. With physical care, running is a big one. I do really like running, and I've been not running these past couple of months, but I am also holding forgiveness within that, just because the holidays have been more focused and more geared toward the loved ones and people I care about very deeply, and community. So I haven't really been focusing too much on myself in that regard, and I will say that is where I want to get back into the gym. I've been sustaining just fine at the gym. I do want to improve on things. I do have a physical goal, and we can talk about that more, of course, but I do have a physical goal. I do. I like lifting weights a lot, and I like the aesthetic that I get when I lift weights. And to be honest, I have found terrible things within that in my past, but as I am right now, that has not been hurting me. So I want to work on that. Spiritual care. Meditation. I want to start meditating again because I do feel that I am disconnected. I want to get back into nature much more. I want to go on more hikes. I want to disconnect so much more. And my full-time job is at the computer. So I am staring at a computer screen the entire time I'm there, which is about 10 hours. That's false. It is 10 hours. It's not about 10 hours, it's definitely 10 hours. That's a lot of time on the computer screen. And then of course, when I'm writing on my computer. And then of course, when I'm editing these videos, that is on my computer. So I would like to find some time to disconnect. With spirits, I am, just to kind of clarify, like I am polytheistic. I don't believe in one God, and I'm pretty comfortable sharing that. I believe in spirits. I believe in energy. I believe in the universe. I believe in many, many different things. I believe in a lot of different magic. I believe in witches and ghosts and demons and more. So most of the things that are unknown in this world tend to be more positive in my aspect, in my realm. And all the forces of the universe they're all there. They're all just there. And I just believe in pretty much everything. I believe in pretty much anything. Besides some things. Some things I don't believe. Some things I'm getting kind of annoyed about with people believing. People need to stop believing in some bullshit. Just saying. What I don't believe is this. What I don't believe is weaponizing religion. That is something I do not believe in. I will state that very clearly and very openly. Do not weaponize religion. You can believe in what you want to believe, but I swear to God, the moment that you start forcing other people to believe in what you believe is the time that I'm going to get very turned off. So don't do that. All right. Sustainability or regaining foundations. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. I'll get closer to the camera. I have a lot of debt. I don't know if you've heard this before. Pretty sure I've told a lot of people. Pretty open about it. I don't keep it too much of a secret because the fact is that I'm in debt, and I just have to be comfortable with the fact that I'm in debt and comfortable with the fact that I'm going to be working on my debt. I'm in debt. So, what I'm doing with that? Let's see if I'm on track. Yes. Do I have a job? Yes. Am I paying things off? Yes. Am I moving forward? Yes. Am I spending more than my monthly minimums? Yes. Am I saving money? Could be better. Am I investing? Yes. Am I working toward goals that are financially viable? Yes. Am I making money? Yes, I already said that. I already mentioned that. A lot of money? Good money. I'm saving a lot of money by living with my mother. So I will mention that. That has been very, very helpful. So I am just slowly and surely working off my debt. I think I'm at about like $150,000 in debt. I know. Crazy. But it is what it is. And I've put myself in the hole. And it's just about working out of it. And also doing it calmly. I do not want to inhabit the pressure or the stakes that makes me feel desperate. If I start being desperate, then a lot of my stuff is going to suffer. And I've done pretty well at not doing that. So I feel pretty comfortable just working off what it is that I already have, and then also continuing to build things on the side that I may be able to make more money later on down the road. YouTube is a viable option. YouTube is something that I am going to accept the fact that, yes, if one day YouTube does take off and this channel does take off and I start gaining money from it, then great, awesome. I will take all of that money and I will just put it toward my debt. And then the full-time job money is going to be, well, I mean, most of it is going to go to my debt. And then the next part is just living expenses. So I'm not banking on YouTube being a financially viable option for me right now. Right now, more what I want to learn with YouTube is the skill of filming and the skill of storytelling, the skill of being able to speak in front of a camera, and so many more things. I mean, there's so many viable skills that you can gain from YouTube that it just makes sense to do it anyways. And that is why I'm working on that now. But of course, if money happens from it, then great, money happens from it. The other things I'm exploring, though, which is more side hustle, more like the value that I could give someone, is the checkout technique. Training actors, training artists, and then also my book. If I am not thinking much about my book making any money whatsoever, I can assure you that. But again, it's kind of another option where it's, if it makes money, great. If it doesn't, fine. It doesn't matter. Because more about what YouTube is and my book is the creativity. The value that I can actually give somebody is teaching. And that is something that I will be introducing to this channel as well. We'll be talking a lot about actors. We'll be talking a lot about art. We'll talk a lot about my process in writing that book. And so there's plenty that we'll talk about. Relationships. So I very much love my friends. I very much love my partner. And I very much love my family. And of course, relationships are very important to me. I am working on them. Of course, I definitely tunnel vision into working on the things that I want to work on and focusing on those things and focusing on developing myself. And that's it. And relationships kind of get pushed to the wayside. That is something that I do want to continue to actively work on. It's a slow process. I'm not saying I have a goal for 2026 on that, but really the goal is just to focus and kind of hone in on that part of me, because I do find that there is a lot that I need to take stock of. But I'm very happy with all of my relationships. All of my relationships are very important to me. And I've been doing very well with some of my relationships. It's just, in terms of spending time and giving the time and taking the time to spend time with them that I am kind of working on a little bit more. But I also, have to find that balance with, I'm going to spend time with them, but also make sure that I'm spending time with myself so that I can continue to develop the things that are really, really important to me, which is a very difficult balance. It absolutely is. So I will not get it right the first time. And well, there's been so many first times, second times, third times, fourth times, fifth times, eighth times, 900th times, and I'm going to continue working on it. It's going to be Newton's cradle, and it's going to continue to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So it's going to be what it is. But more importantly than that is unconditional love. Now, this one is a topic that's really important to me, one that I want to continue to develop. And it's a feeling. It's a feeling and it's an energy to give every single day I wake up, every single moment I am within a day, and every single person that I come across, is to continue giving unconditional love. It's really hard. It is not easy. I know this. I know this because there's a lot of judgment in my heart with all that is happening within the world. The people who are hurting the world so much. And, the leadership that we have come into, or not by our want. And it's just really, it's a feeling of mine that I know that the world needs it more and more. I know that there are people who haven't gotten it, who are taking it out on other people now. And I know that I definitely do struggle in giving unconditional love to people. But I know that it's something that I want to continue working on and developing. And so it's another path. It's another path that I want to define for myself. You know, it's a concept that is just about, it's working on how you can enter into a room, how you can exude that level of energy to people around you, how you can continue treating them with a level of respect, with a level of sincerity, with a level of gratitude for them just being there. I know that it's possible, and I know that it's really difficult to look at someone who has hurt other people and give them a sense of love. I'm going to be very honest. I don't think I've found that quite yet. And because I also just don't accept that. I don't accept that you can be so cruel. And so it's kind of difficult. It's kind of a concept that I'm playing around in my head that I just don't necessarily understand, but also something that I want to work toward and I want to continue walking toward. Like, how can I give someone grace in that realm? And that's the extreme. But also, how can I give someone grace when it's very small things? You know what I mean? I want to continue working on that, and I want to continue developing that. I don't know what that looks like. I just know that that's a concept that I've been working on for a while already. And where I am right now with it is an optimist. And I can be okay with that. I can be okay with the fact that I'm an optimist in life. And we're going to get through these times right now. And we're going to be able to help people in this world, and we are going to be helping people in this world, and we are going to be finding our art again, and we're all going to be finding creativity again. There is definitely an optimism that I have. So, yeah, nice. Okay, my friends, that is all that I have for you. So, thank you so much if you watched this entire thing. Holy shit. Thank you. I'm so very happy that you're still here, because if you're still here, thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm impressed. This is a long video. This is just me yapping, to be very honest, but kind of going through the importance of the new year, the things that I have planned, and also some of the things that have already happened. So thank you. I'm excited to continue further down the line. And I'm really, really excited to continue working with you on finding things that I can give to you of value, things that I've learned, processes that I've learned, and of course, the book. I'm really excited for the book, because the book is going to be kind of a main topic, probably, on this channel. It'll also be the Michael Chekhov technique. It'll also be a little bit about acting and film. I'm just really excited. I'm really excited to start this journey with you, and stay with me, because there's going to be plenty more. Goal is 3 videos a month, so we'll see how that goes. Of course, no promises, no guarantees. Sorry, I can't guarantee yet. It's no guarantees for a while, and until I can build my trust back up with myself, so sorry. Otherwise, if I keep giving you content, great. If I don't, great. All is fine. Okay, subscribe to this channel. Leave this video a like, and so much love today and every day.